just about ready to go. Hi, hello. Sorry again that I was a minute late. That was my bad. Unfortunately, I ran into just a bit of camera issues. But hello, hi, welcome in. It is Wednesday, I believe. And hello, Meridian. Hello, Pokemon. Hello, Cogs. Hello, Gideoneer. Hello, Dropped Frame. Um, hello, Mobile Armor. And hello, Wolf. Yeah. Oh, and Ty. Hello, Ty. So today, what we are going to be doing, isn't that cruel? Cards? Oh no, I don't have to eat it. It's open. So, I do have a pack of cards to open because Pokemon redeemed it. So, we'll do that. I have no idea how to get this thing open. So apologies. But today is probably going to be a bit of a slower stream. And I kind of just want to vibe, you know? But we are going to get stuff done one way or another. I'm pretty confident that I got the parts that will help us get this completed. So yeah, anyways, so you redeemed a pack of cards. I will open the cards. No. I specifically said open cards. Like, if you look at the redeem, it specifically says open cards, not eat cards. But yeah, we do be vibing. Alright. I have not seen anything from this set, so... Okay, octopus form. That's Katara. Glider kits. Ooh, turtle duck, that's cute. Lightning strike. Beetle-headed merchants. Zuko's exile. Is the carding okay to eat? No, I've eaten magic cards before. They're not good. Back in college, at least. Minache. Warden. Master of Yandel. White Lotus. Oh, I'm so sorry. Apologies, but this is what you redeemed, Master Paku. And our rare is Tylee, Cheap Walker. She's an okay card, I guess. Honestly, I don't know this set. Oh, and we apparently got Aang as well. Huh. 2 rares, that's weird. You're not usually supposed to get 2 rares. And then some wrestlers. Anyways, that is what we got. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this guy going. Let's get this project going. So, we ran into some issues with our piezoelectric mics, and we are going to abandon using these. We are most certainly abandoning using these. Apologies. So what we're going to switch to is some mic amplifiers. So these should just be quite a bit simpler for us to use. At least I hope they are. So yeah, let's get this going. And also, sorry Pokemon. But yeah, how's your guys' week going? Because my week is going terrible. But you know, that's life, that's liberty, that's the pursuit of happiness, right? Can't be great 100% of the time. Okay, so if we take a quick look, procrastinating, that's a mood. So if you take a quick look, we have our microphone right here. We have our voltage, we have a ground in the middle, and then we have the actual source out. And yeah, hopefully it works as expected. We should see. There's no reason it shouldn't work, but yeah. There are no ties between them. Huh? Anyways, we are gonna have to start with some soldering to get the pins attached, so give me a moment as I can set that up for us. We are going to want probably like this, if I had to guess. Yeah, I think we'll want like that. Which means we want the opposite direction inside our board. But yeah, let's see. So, you know, I like how the only part of that conversation Orisaw was making a pun. No, like, no, I saw that you liked Tylee's. Apologies, I did see that. Um, I'm not sure if I like Tylee, to be perfectly honest. I kind of like May more, if you guys know that character. Um, I think I'm a bigger fan of May than I am of Tylee. Apologies if that is a whatchamacallit take. Or do we want to solder them like this? No. Okay. I'm trying to figure out a good way to hold this guy slightly up. It's okay. We'll get the soldering done pretty quickly. Just to be clear, the valid was for liking me, not what word. Okay, yes. My puns are eye-catching and incredibly funny. It comes with the king of comedy. Exactly. Well, if you're the king of comedy, everyone's the... I mean, you're. Let's just zoom in on this guy. Alright. So we're going to solder on our header pins here. We have to do this for both. We should get it working without much issue. I'm not imagining much issue, at least. But let's see. Also, still no idea why these aren't even. They should be even. I'd really prefer if this was a bit more even. Hold on. I may use helping hands instead of the breadboard trick for this one. I think helping hands might make more sense. Oh, thank you so much, Cogsright, for gifting a sub to Wolf with Sword. That's very much appreciated. Never necessary, but always appreciated. Also, I thought you weren't supposed to be gifting subs. But apologies to your financial advisor. Listen, if you almost die, like, you know, maybe financial advising stuff isn't super important, right? Gotta live your life, is what I would say, but... My phone is on the other side of the house, I won't hear the text. Exactly. You just hook it up to a different card. Okay. Should work. Okay. Should work perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and get this going. Let's see, what have I done in the past few days? Mostly been working, went to the doctors, had to get some more, had to get more blood work done, which is always so pleasant. Let's see. Anyways, off to make dinner, have fun. Oh, I will have fun. We will have fun, hopefully. Hopefully we're able to have some fun. Get this guy going. Okay. Alright. Solder start. I blame it on my phone screen being weird because I just got out of the shower combined with probably hitting the wrong letter in autocorrect. Huh. A siege. Just gonna pre-tin our iron and get it all going. Okie dokie. But yeah, what has been new? What has been new with me, at least? Let's see. Burn a mic amplifier, that's what's new with me. Okay. Oh, hello, Hakun the Errol. Evil? I assume that's evil or Errol. Welcome in. Hopefully you're doing well today on this Wednesday. Let's see what we can do, though. Should be able to get this guy soldered pretty quickly, I'm hoping. I'm also hoping that this guy's kind of plug and play when it comes to getting it to work. I messed up. I unfortunately made a oopsie, so now I have to Yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay. We're gonna have to probably unsolder this. Yeah, I'm just gonna unsolder it. That's probably the easiest method. Zoom out a bit. So unfortunately, what happened is I reheated one of the pins that I shouldn't have, and then the header slipped out slightly. So if you can see the header, ever so slightly slipped out there. So I need to undo that. I could probably just pull you off. Or not. What type of audio comm are we making? So we are... Good question. We are making... Hold on. We are trying to make a system to communicate between two different audio pieces. So what we have... Oh my gosh, I'm struggling. Sorry, guys. There's a strong possibility I damaged this board. Not much I can do about that now, though. Yeah, I'm just going to. We can start the salvage work later. That's future me's problem. Okay. In that case, I'm gonna need some header pins and an extra one of those. Give me a moment. I have plenty of extra. I made sure to get plenty of extra. I just have to remember to grab them. And some header pins. Okay. Header pins, and then our extra. Okay. But yeah, so the audio comms that we are trying to make is we are trying to make a system that's able to communicate back and forth with each other with only audio communications. So essentially, we're trying to remake, apparently, dial-up, or something along those lines. So that is what we are working on, or at least trying to work on. Get an extra. It's okay, we'll just have a little bonus. There's gotta be a better way of doing this. Oh. Okay, I'm just gonna go with the breadboard method. That's just gonna have to be good enough. We're gonna have a bit of slack in it, but that is life. Hello, mobile army. But yes, so the way that it should work is two things should... Oh, hello, Art Universe. Welcome in. Nice. You're on a streak. The way that it should hopefully work out is that we are able to see whenever we do like a certain noise, we should be able to translate characters over, so the main rub of the situation, or main challenge of the situation, is going to be taking in those audio signals, which we are putting out from these microphones that we are currently working on. Actually, we're taking in with the microphones, and putting out with the speakers, and then processing them. And of course, this is slightly less efficient than using, like, proper line communication. But I think that is where the fun is. Or personally, I believe that's where the fun is. So, let's just get this guy going. Not the greatest. Exiting? Yeah. So, should be fine on this front. Our solder's not the best job, but it should do. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. I feel like we've definitely gotten better over the period of time that we have been using these, which is good. But yeah, hello Noah Paws, welcome in. Hopefully you're doing great today. So we're just getting the header pins, and then I need one more sensor. Oh, posture is good. Thank you for the check. And also, okay, what type of conversation should we have today? Okay, so I did go to Micro Center yesterday because I was looking for components and supplies. I guess you could say mildly successful. Well, I didn't find these, which is what I was primarily looking for. I did find some other stuff. Goes. Oh my gosh, did I put those on backwards? That's fine, just technically matter. Okay, so I went to Micro Center, and I drove like quite a while, so to get there. And I go in and I grab like the same thing I always do. I grab like a bundle of wires because I'm always in there for like grabbing DuPont wires essentially. So those are these guys right here. These are DuPont wires, and I always restock there. So I kind of just like grab their entire stock every time. Yesterday was no exception, and I put them in my little cart, and I decide that I want to look at keyboards today, or not today, during stream. Do they recognize you by now? There's quite a few people who work there, so I'd say no. Yeah, there's quite a few people who work there, so no, not really. Oh, that's such a bad solder joint. But anyways, so I finished up grabbing all the wires and some heat shrink because that's what I was looking for. And I go over to the keyboard section because my main keyboard is kind of on, unfortunately, the way out. It's not doing... Oh my gosh, that's also not a good joint. Hold on. Okay, that's better. Is it still sharing batteries with the mouse? Oh, no. So it's not the ones that I use for the lab. It's the ones that I use for my personal computer. So I have two separate computers. In case I ever decide to stream games, it'll be super easy, but unfortunately, I like go to the aisle, I ask one of the sales associates, just like, oh hey, yes, I am looking for a keyboard, blah blah blah. I'm looking for something with like cherry MX browns because that's like my favorite type of switch. If you don't know, essentially like there are like different levels of switch. For mechanical keyboards, and generally it's like browns, reds, and blues, which are super loud, and browns are kind of like the in-between. So I go up, I ask, and I'm like, oh, I need this. I need it in this form factor. Cherry MX Browns, my beloved, aka the only ones I've ever used. Yeah, I used to use blues back when I was like a lot younger. Or I don't know if a lot younger is the right term, but yes, when I, like, several times ago, I have opinions on browns, but I'll keep it to myself. Oh, really, Gideon here? Though my keyboard has hot swappable switches per key, I should try mixing. Yeah. So again, I've had this keyboard for the better part, probably, like, 7 years. Like, it's done well. It's done very well. And I don't, like, have any huge regrets with it. It turned out good, but it's kind of just dying slowly because the numpad no longer works on it. The backlight sometimes just changes color randomly or not at all. It's just, slowly dying. And anyways, so I asked the guy, and the first thing he directs me to is a cheap, Chinese knockoff mechanical pink keyboard. And I'm just like, oh, this is how this interaction is going to go. And I was like, oh, no, I'm looking for something that's actually, good. I say that in more or less, those words. Without, without saying it like that, but I'm still pretty blunt, so I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm looking for something that's actually higher end. And he's like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, what's your budget? I give him my budget, which I don't have one. And he takes me over to like some different Keytronic ones, which are actually okay, but unfortunately they don't have any wired keyboards, which is what I prefer, because I do not like the latency that wireless ones add. Hello, Shini, welcome in. Then I'm like, oh no, I told him that I had a Ducky keyboard, and we go over to the Duckies. And again, I made it very abundantly clear to this guy that I was looking for like a mechanical keyboard that had like a numpad, so like a full keyboard. And he just like kept presenting wrong options. By wrong options, I mean either not having the I/O at all, or not I/O, sorry, but not having like the keyboards. He's doing his best, okay? Dude, you say that, and then he like, the cherry on top, if you guys know cheap peripheral brands, Red Dragon, if you guys have ever heard of Red Dragon, never use their things, he takes me over to like the Red Dragon stuff, and he's like, oh, this one's pretty good, and I'm like, ah yes, we are done here. I don't actually say that, but I like 360 no scope out of the conversation. Like, I kind of just completely check out. I forgot that existed. Yeah, like, I didn't even know that brand, like, existed, and I was in, you know, I know that it existed, but, like, I'm surprised that that was a recommendation, so, I probably won't be asking any of their employees for keyboard recommendations in the near future. Unfortunately. Is that like what Mad Catz used to be? Yeah, imagine Mad Catz controllers, but for mechanical keyboards. It's not great. It is not great. Anyways, let's get these guys wired. Okay. Should be good. Let's go ahead and hook this guy up to our circuit and see what we're seeing. Do we need? Right now, we're just going to need a... Really just need to get it plugged in, and then we should be able to just tap on it to get the mic part out. I'm used to Mad Catz. I mean, Mad Catz used to make keyboards. Oh, really? That's kind of surprising. Okay, so if you take a quick look at the silk screen or the writing on this guy, we see that we have VCC on the far, we have ground in the middle, and out. So we are going to put the out on the ADC, we are going to put the ground on the ground, and VCC on VCC. Pretty straightforward. Alright. Gray is out, which goes on analog to digital converter. This guy goes on our ground. And then the next one goes on VCC, which would be 3 volts. It should be fine on 3 volts. I believe the operational is 2.4 to 5 volts. Hold on, let me double check. I believe it's on the silk screen as well. Yeah, it's 2.4 to 5.5 volts, so it should be able to take 3.3 volts, no issue. Okay, so let's get this guy plugged in. And see if we can get the sampling going, and see how we're doing with it. Alright, so I'm just gonna plug this going in. We're gonna open our software. Hopefully we didn't damage it when we were doing soldering or anything. Oh, fell off the table. Very nice. Funny that you were talking about keyboards, because I made my own from scratch PCB design case. Ooh, very cool. Dude, I was really debating doing that or something along those lines, because the last keyboard I had, like, for a lack of a better word, it's a nice keyboard, but I've never gotten the opportunity to make my own keyboard, and I have with, like, computers and stuff, but never with a keyboard, so I've wanted to give that a try. Hold on. Application. Okay. So we should have our values over here. We just need to double check our thing and reprogram it. Okay, so give it a moment. Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious how that went for you, Hakoon, because the PCB part, I've never gotten something custom printed. like, I know the rough design, like, the principles of rough PCB design, or PCB board design. I guess B is in board, but anyways. You use the Mad Cat Cyborg V7 and the White Rat 7. I see. Alright. So if you guys can see, on our analog to digital converter, you can see the mic, and then if we tap it, it should go... Oh! It should go up or down. Okay, so if we, like, tap... Okay, hold on. Let me move you slightly out of the way. And then, like, if we talk into it, you'll see that it peaks out. So I think it is working, which is good. So let's go ahead and proceed with the design. We are gonna have to incorporate back in our audio and see if the audio is able to trigger it. But I'm not super worried about that part. Alright. And for our audio, we were using simplified version programming. The programming made me consider getting hospitalized. I have some... Oh no. That does not sound poggers. Okay, I am just looking for our tone code, wherever it is. Honestly, it should just be tone. Actually, would it be easier? Oh, hold on, guys. I'm just debating what the plan is here. Sorry, I had to drop off on Monday. It was on mobile, and there seems to be a weird input bug. All input is replicated dozens of times or more, making it virtually impossible to talk. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully it's fixed now, or is working better than before. So what I am going to do is we are going to swap our application over and program this guy. Alright, so what we need to do is we already have the speaker part working. We just need to essentially set up our analog to digital read, which should be easy. So we want to set up a serial communication line. So serial dot begin 9600. Alright, excellent. And then also we are going to go ahead and turn on our... We're going to turn on the speaker, like, always, just for now. Just to see that we're getting it on the output. And then we want to call this guy... We want to make a different value called sensor value. And then we set up with serial, or sensor value equals analog read, and our value a sub 0, or I guess analog pin in should work as well. Oh, capitalization. Read. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I'm struggle busing, but we are struggle busing today. Okay, and then very good. Serial dot print line sensor value. Alright, that should work. Let's go ahead and check. Well, actually, we're not connected with the board right now. So, we are gonna have to get the board connected. I don't like your tone, mister. Yeah. Wait, you don't need to specifically define the speaker pin as an out? We shouldn't have to. I shall double check that that's not an issue, but I don't believe we have to in this case. And then we are on 5. female to female. Gosh, why am I already out of, like, female to female wires? I guess useful wires go quickly. Okie dokie. Alright, sorry. The stuff I do is considered the dark arts of electronics. It's RF, radio frequency. It's not DC. It's AC, but a different piece. It's not AC. It's RF. What's the difference between the two? Or what's the difference between RF and... Isn't RF alternating current always? Or is there something I'm missing there? Frequency. Yeah, but, like, AC is also alternating, right? Like, it runs on a frequency, assumably, I think. The speed of light, mainly. Oh, yes. Yeah, it's just substantially higher frequency. See, that's one of the reasons I'm glad I was biomedical engineering. Welcome in, SFC Pickett. Good to see you. Hopefully all is going well. Red is 5. Okay. Let's get this guy connected. Alright, so we just need to reprogram it. I hooked up the speaker to our GPIO pin and a ground pin, and now this guy should produce a sound when it is powered. My 3D printer is broken. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What type of 3D printer were you on? And blood sacrifices? I'm sorry, what? Blood sacrifices are not so great, you know. Let's just get this guy connected. I'm hoping this should work without too much issue. Bamboo P1S cooling fan on hot end decided to explode. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Are you able to salvage the system? Skin effect, ground behaves different, stray capacitance, radio interference, propagation, sunspots. Oh, I see. Yeah, again, luckily with the human body, it operates on a very low frequency. So it's not too bad to work with. So if we check our serial monitor and we go to select board and port connection automatically. What? Apologies. Tools. Serial monitor. Okay. So if we check our values, let's go ahead and maybe slow this guy down. Let's slow this guy down slightly. It's going a bit too fast to read. Delay. And we will just put the delay at 200 milliseconds. Should be fine. Hello, Linted. Welcome in. And again, apologies for the beeper, but we are going to have to keep it on for at least a little bit. I will cover it, though, while we are reprogramming. Good morning, Linted. Very good morning to you. And how come you forgot the difference about red and FCC? But yeah, human body is so much easier to deal with because it's lower power typically and it's lower frequency, which makes it infinitely easier to design for. Okay. Okay. So, let's see. We should go ahead and get values. So it's reading high whenever we have it down on the tone, and then if we take it away, you'll see that the values are significantly lower. So, I think this will work. So if we get it right next to it, yeah, if we get it right next to it, it should be higher, lower. So, I think what we'll have to do, the human body is lower power. Did ever drink gas station energy drinks? No, I haven't. Unfortunately, I cannot. Alright. The other thing that I would like to check real quick is to make sure that our other microphone is working. So I'm going to swap this guy out for our other microphone, and we're going to do a quick test on that. After we get that in place, I think we'll be good to proceed with the rest of the design, which I think we'll move on to perf boarding. Because, I don't know, I kind of feel like perfboarding today, you know? Also, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see, what else has been going on? Okay, we have our output. Hello, everyone. I just got here at the end of my semester engineering presentation. How did it go, Dragon? Did it go well? Hopefully it went well. I'm sure it went well as long as you prepared for it, right? Let's get this one D0. Oh, thank you so much for gifting us up, Cogs right to Linted. That's very much appreciated. Never necessary, but always appreciated. Notice. Yar. Okay, we have our ground. Ground wire. And VCC. VCC. Which is 3 volts. If you have a 1/4 wavelength antenna, it needs RF ground, so to provide that you'll need radios on the ground, so many wires radiating out. Coax shield with a star shape. Very interesting. Yeah, again, luckily, I don't have to worry about that type of frequency too often. Ground and VCC. Okay, cool. Let's get this guy connected. We don't have the speaker active, but I will just be able to talk into it. So we should be seeing the default values of approximately like 5 to 600, I'm imagining. Oh, okay, this time we're seeing definitely different values. If we connect. Interesting. Okay, let's make sure we're not shorting it. Let's double check our wires. So output is what we should be measuring. That is on D1 or pin 5, that is correct. VCC is gray, which should be connected to 3 volts, which it is. And then the last one should be on ground. We'll go ahead and put those ground and put the ground and the other one together just to make sure that it's not an issue there, but I don't think that should matter much. Alright, let's get it reconnected. So we're still seeing a super low value even when we put it close to us. Let's reset it. So we still are not seeing anything. The presentation went really well. The professor seemed like the process was on digital image correlation, which is an optical method of measuring strain. Oh, that's super cool. That's actually very, very, very cool. Nicer. Nice. Okay, so we are having an issue with this guy. Alright. Not great. Not great indeed. Okay, so there may be an issue with the connection. We may have dry joints. Or there may be damage on the board. It's hard to know which it may be. Again, if we put it like super close to our face, it should be like picking up stuff. It's not. Given that is the case, let's go ahead and just double check. We are going to remove the tonal code real quick just to make sure the tonal code's not messing it up in some way. I don't think it will be, but just in case it is. And we're just gonna reload that guy over. Alright. So, it's uploading over. It should be good any moment. And again, if we have problems with it again, what is the play? Honestly, we can try a different component. Okay, so we're still seeing zeros. Okay, so we're still seeing 0 values, or 18, which is basically a 0 value. Even when we put it close, we're not getting any difference in voltage. And let's go ahead and swipe out R2, just to double check that it's not an issue, with code. So output on D1, and power ground. Pokemon soundtracks improve efficiency by 20%. I know, right? They really do, Substation Blitz. Also, welcome in. I forgot to say welcome in. Hopefully you're doing well today. It sounds like most people are doing pretty well today, which is great. Hold on, late to the party. How is the crayon? Actually, we opened cards today. Okay. Oh, very interesting. Now we're getting neither working. Okay. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So unfortunately, I'm a little slow. So the issue was what's known as a skill issue, diagnosis skill issue. So the issue, let me see if I can show you. All right, so you're seeing how this guy is picking up things. If we go talk in the mic, it should get, like, higher. I'm expecting it to get higher. Yeah, it should get higher. I'm just tapping on the mic because I don't want to, like, scream in it. But you'll see a peak. So that's good. The mic model is a Max 4436. Why did I... hold on. We can see on the... it's 4 digits, if I recall. 4466. Apologies. So if you can see, it's on the silk screen right there. It is the MAX 4466 is the model. Let's go ahead and get this guy unplugged and try the other one. All right, so the issue was something pretty simple. I was unfortunately attaching it to the wrong output. I was looking at the GPIO for some reason instead of our digital to analog converter. So that was probably why we were reading zeros, because it was just reading the air, which should be near 0. Okay, ground, VCC. Opposite of what makes sense. So ground and our VCC. Let's get this guy plugged in again. Alright, so if we take a look at the values, you'll now see that they are different. So what we are going to be looking for is... yeah, so whenever we're tapping it, it should go higher. Sorry, kind of like spamming it out. Testing. So, the plan is we will probably use... it looks like it's averaging... let me just be quiet for a second. Okay, so it looks like it's averaging around 550. How large is the room? It wasn't below freezing today, so I'm sweating in my apartment. I left my overvolt on my computer and was cooking my room. Oh man, that is rough. That is very rough. Alright, so what I would like to do is I want to port this guy over to a perf board or perforated board. I hope that is a-okay with y'all. So we can just do some nice soldering and talking. So yeah, let's go ahead and get that ready. That is not okay with me? Oh, okay. Okay, we can try to put it on a breadboard. I think we're going to run into some noise issues or other things, but that's okay. We can try to get around it. Okay. Board. No, I was kidding. Breadboards are... okay, so... let us get out our perforated boards. Let's see what we got. How much space are we gonna need? So there's going to be 2 separate devices. I think we're good with just splitting one of these guys in half, to be perfectly honest. So I think that's what we'll start with. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this guy in half. And go forward from there. Okay, let's get it. Alright, so I'm gonna need to cut you open. So that means I need the pipe cutters wherever they are. Oh. Have you experienced with crimp connectors yet? Good way to have your heat shrink and not have to solder. No, I haven't. I need to. I need to add that to the list if I remember to, Topocato. That is a good idea. I really should. Sorry, I'm just, you know, like when you close one eye to see if you're well aligned or not. Just checking that we were. Okay, that should be good. My only issues with wire work is cars and houses that may cause noise issues in the wires. Oh, we're not overly concerned. I'm not overly concerned about the noise in the wires. Because we're working on, like, relatively speaking, it doesn't need to be that accurate. So it's not bad if it is. Okay. Sorry, I was just making sure it would be smooth enough so I wouldn't accidentally get cut. I often wonder what these noisy wires sound like. What do you mean by that? Okay. So we have one board. Then we need our second board. Let me grab my second ESP, 1 second. Whoop. Whoop. Okay, so we have our second ESP here. So we're going to use 2 ESPs. Each one is going to need its own little sub-assembly. So each one will get a microphone and a speaker. That's how they're going to talk to each other. Microphone, speaker, microphone, speaker. Okay, excellent. And again, we have these currently just on male endings, so we can get them soldered. So I'm just gonna pop the guy off this, pop this guy off, there we go. Alright. They'll be noisy with high enough voltage and could cause neighbor complaints. No. I don't think that's possible with this in the first place, but I try to be conscientious of that. Okay. Okay, so I want to establish, do I want to establish a common power rail? I think I want to separate out the power rails. Again, this is mostly for skill development, so we are going to detach these. So I'm going to detach you and you, and switch you to a male to female. Only on high voltage transmission lines. Oh, okay. I see. Okay. What terrible converse. Okay. Oh, no. Okay, because that's a possible future project. I don't want to spoil future projects yet. Let's get this guy in place. How do I want to get this connected? Honestly, this is mostly for practice, so I think we just get it any way that we can. Okay. Although I do like the idea of you blasting so much electricity in your house that the neighbors complain. No, let's not do that. Let us not do that. I think that would be optimal for us not to do that. Okay, so I'm going to need to establish a power and a ground. We are going to need multiple male to female cables. We have plenty. If not, I bought like several packs yesterday and still have some packs remaining. So I would find it very hard to believe that we don't have plenty. Okay, So I'm going to establish a common ground on this side of the board, I think. So let's go ahead and get that in place. Get that in place and deal with it from there. Okay, so common ground. So we're just gonna hold it in place. Make sure it's making good contact. And get it soldered. Make sure it's as straight as we can get it. Looking good. Looking good. Okay, time to solder. Let's see. What do there be? What do there be to talk about? It's almost Christmas. I don't have any plans. I'm not sure if you all have any plans for, like, travel or anything. Remember, folks, when you feel like you cannot do something, Dwarf Fortress mean with no training out of pure reception. That's a good point, Tobo Cato. Just gonna wait for that to flow. Cat should good. Let's go ahead and get the ground in. Okay, so we want a common ground. So I'm just going to take another male to female wire, preferably one that can indicate ground pretty easily. Gray is ground, that's fine. Heading back home this weekend, very nice. Yeah, back when I was smaller, we do try quite a bit of traveling. Though I don't do that as much anymore. Quite a bit of traveling for Christmas. I definitely prefer not having to travel, though something that I always loved doing. Okay, kind of a guilty pleasure of mine, okay? So don't judge me too much. But for some reason, I get an immense amount of peace from just chilling underneath a Christmas tree with the lights on. Like, with the Christmas lights on. So, like, if you're just, like, underneath a Christmas tree, like, with the lights, it is a vibe. And I can just, like, lay there for literal hours. It's probably the most peaceful that I get to feel, and I haven't done it in a while, but it is definitely something I want to do more. Or I wish I had the opportunity of doing this year. Oh, hello, Tyler. I'll make sure to hydrate. Sitting on the floor, laying on the floor, yeah. I'm not exactly the greatest at shopping for presents. What's the favorite gift that you got this year? I got my nephew Steam Deck, very nice, and a skin. That is very cool, and I am hydrated. Thank you for Talarian. I appreciate that. But, I do have a story about the greatest Christmas gift I ever received. So that would be the Christmas of... I was pretty young, so I don't remember the exact details, but it goes like the following. I recall having a GameCube at the time. So, like, a Nintendo GameCube. I was a little kid with a Nintendo GameCube. And I wanted video games for Christmas because I'm a loser. I'm not a loser, but, like, I'm a nerd. So, that's what I requested for Christmas, and that's what I was hoping to get. I need to get this guy touched. So, I remember requesting, like, a bunch of different games, and the way that we did things, thank you so much for following Robo Twilight, I really appreciate it. I hope that you have a great time here. I'm guessing that's from MLP, but... So, I'm a nerd, sane. Nodders. So I take the, I put a whole bunch of games down, and my family gives me a whole bunch of different games. And unfortunately, I, like, open up the first one. I'm super excited, and it's the game I want. However, the problem is that it's for the PlayStation 2. So I'm like, oh no, they got it for the wrong console. And I was kind of upset, right? And Then I'm like, oh, whatever. It's just a singular. It's just a singular issue, right? It's just a singular issue. Surely it's not a repeated problem. So I opened up the next present, or I got to the next present. It was another video game. I opened it up, and it was 4 PlayStation 2 games. And I'm just like, uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Because I remember it was specifically like a 4-pack. It had like the new like Final Fantasy and some other games. It was like a good pack of games, but like it was for the wrong console. It's for the wrong console. So my parents at this point noticed that I was upset and like, oh, we're so sorry, Ori. Don't worry, we'll get it fixed. We'll have it exchanged tomorrow, and you'll be able to play them later. So I believe my parents, right? As one tends to do. Sorry, just getting the soldering work better. That should be good enough. Okay. So I keep opening presents, and they're all for the PlayStation 2, dude. All of them. Like, from my grandma, PlayStation 2. From my aunt, PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2. And I go to bed, like, crying because, you know, I was looking forward to it, and it was Christmas Eve. And I was looking forward to it. And I was looking forward to playing the games, and things going well, and it all went wrong. But that night, Santa came, as Santa does. No. As Santa does tend to come. And what happened was, Santa brought me a PlayStation 2. So all was good in the world, because instead of getting GameCube games, I got PlayStation 2 games, and Santa saved me and got PlayStation 2. I don't know how he got that, but you know, Santa's pretty talented. My parents did this with me in Sega Genesis games. We had an old NES at the time. My siblings and I were so confused. Oh, dude, I was so upset. But yeah, that was something that made me believe in, like, you know, the Christmas spirit, the holiday magic type stuff for quite a while longer, and it was a good experience. Apologies. Let's just get this guy attached. Must have left Santa some extra beer that night. Yeah, perhaps. The other thing, dude, my parents took, like, holidays really, really seriously. Like, very seriously for some reason. I don't know why. Like, I legitimately believed that the Easter Bunny was real until, like, 5th grade. Which is kind of problematic, but to be fair, there was physical evidence. There was physical evidence that the Easter Bunny existed. So, one year, my parents and all the other parents in the neighborhood got together, and, like, they essentially made a candy trail between houses because the Easter Bunny's, like, bag was leaking. So there was just, like, a candy trail between each individual house. I'm sorry. I don't know why I brought that up, but that's why I believed in the Easter Bunny, perhaps longer than Santa, but, you know. My parents would also gift us the wrong things on purpose, so we would trade and share with each other. This went on to, like, dope geometric pattern dress, and I wore it. That's pretty cool. Oh, dude, the neighborhood was sick. The neighborhood was sick. I had a very, like, interesting cross-section of childhood. What do you mean, believed? They're not real? No, they're real. They're real in the effort that your family puts into them. Okay. We are also going to need to establish a voltage rail. This guy's going to be connected with a male or female. And voltage. Okay, voltage rail. Oh, in that case, it's not real at all for me. Got it. Voltage rail, voltage rail, voltage rail. Hold on, I think we need to crack open a pack of something. Female to female, female to female. female to female. 1 second. 1 second. Okie dokie. But yeah, my parents were awfully clever. And I got a pretty good range of stuff. Okay, let's just get this guy open. However we can. Club Penguin. Christmas went hard for me. What's really funny to me about that story is that my older brother was the trans one, so their reaction was bemusing to me. Oh, was this... Oh, I see. I see. Oh, thank you so much for the raid, Just Jane. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the raid. It is very much appreciated. Welcome in, raiders. I am Oriana Laura. I am a inventing VTuber dolphin hybrid. We make silly inventions here. Right now, we are trying to make two boards communicate with each other with purely audio. So what we have is a super cool speaker and a microphone combo, and they're going to beep angrily at each other in order to communicate. But welcome in again, raiders. Please drop a follow if interested. If not, that's perfectly cool. And how was the stream? What did you guys do? What did you guys do today? Is that 2 underscores? I hope that's 2 underscores. But yeah, welcome in, welcome in. Were you guys programming, I assume? Minecraft and coding. We did so many things. Very nice. We are just doing some soldering and talking about the Easter Bunny and Santa. And how they were good. And how they were good to us. Very good to us. Coding a end of stream credits, then we beat the Ender Dragon on the community server. Nice! First coding, then Minecraft. Very nice. Dude, very nice. Was it hardcore? Was it, normal mode, or... Yes, they're going to maliciously beep at each other. I just thought it'd be interesting to have, like, 2 little bots beep at each other, essentially, to communicate. We may hook up one of them to chat, though. That has yet to be determined. Okay, I need 2 wire sets. It was just normal. I've never played Minecraft before. The community server was our 2 to the 9th goal. Very nice. Very, very nice. Most excellent. But yeah, please follow Just Stream. They are a very talented programmer, IRRC. We should totally work on a project together sometime if you are interested. Or, wait, is that proper etiquette? It doesn't matter. Anyways, let us continue. But yes, we do like our silly projects here. And right now I am just going to be soldering our pref board. We need to solder our power. So, power... Okay, so we'll put the power on a opposite plane, or a just plane like farther away. So we'll just use something like down the line slightly. That should work perfectly alright. Apologies, having a bit of issues. Just passing. Piss streamer, you forgot to say what we're doing for the raiders, yeah. Oh, yeah, so we're trying to make an audio communication system, and what you are doing for the raiders. Forgot to say what you are doing for the raiders. Oh, I thought we did. I'm so sorry. Again, so we are working on an audio system, essentially audio cross communications between 2 boards. And while it's not as efficient as using something like line communication, i.e. I2C, we're kind of just doing this because I thought it would be interesting. So here we are. We make all sorts of random stuff. Didn't expect to see a fave music creator here. Oh wait, do you make music? Have a good stream. Oh my gosh, yeah. No. Yeah. Feel free to. I hope you had a good stream. that's a very long stream. I hope it went well for you. Yar. Yar. I'm pretty sure I even bought stuff on... What? I am so confused. But cool. Very cool. Very cool, very cool. Alright. More super cool here. Okay. Need the power plane. So this is the ground plane. Yeah, this is the power plane. Power plane, we need bright color. Bright color. Okie dokie. Real? Yes, definitely real. Oh, Michael, do you make music? If you don't mind me asking. And if you do, I'm so sorry. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this guy poked in. We were just talking about Christmas plans. Well, come on. I don't know why there's so much torsion in this board, but there appears to be so much torsion in this board. There we go. Very nice. Alright. So again, we are just going to be soldering this pin on real quick. We are just trying to establish a common ground, so give me a moment. Make sure we're good on temp. We are good on temp. And we can make good progression. Make sure. Yeah, still on. I do? Oh, what type of music do you make, if you don't mind me asking? Looks like a solid joint. I am gonna have to slightly over solder this because we're gonna need it for other things. Brake core. I actually don't know what brake core are. Or brake core is. Myself, I am pretty big into let's see. I'm usually into like EDM type stuff, but I also like classic rock. But let's get this voltage. Okay. I've been into rally core lately. What is rally core? Topo Kato. Okay. Oh. Let's not do that. I'm so sorry to hear that, Substation Blitz. You should be happy. Rally core is like Jungle House, but with that type of stuff you hear on... Okay. PS1 racing games. Okay, what type of PS1 racing games are we talking? Are we talking, like, Need for Speed type games? Or are we talking, like, Crazy Taxi? Or... Hello, Brink, welcome in! Hopefully your evening went well. We are just doing some soldering. We got the microphones working. I mean, we changed the microphones so we'd get working ones, but hey, we got it working. Okay. Like Ridge Racer? Yeah. I only had, like, one racing game as a kid. Gosh, it was like a super, super duper old, it was like a super duper old NASCAR game. And I just liked listening to the music and driving in circles. Like, I didn't even actually play to win, I just drove in circles. But, like, that's the only experience I have with racing games. Driving in circles. I mean, I guess that's kind of what you do in NASCAR optimally, but yeah. Oh, welcome in, Shackman. Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing okay today. But you are. Gonna be in and out. Heavily medicated cat babysitting. Oh no, is your cat okay? Oh no. Check Noxygen if you want to hear that jungle vibe. Okay. I will perhaps give that a look. Okay. Does anything else need power at the moment? Oh yeah, I also like driving into the walls. Had a NASCAR game after about 10 laps. It would get first place and slam on the brakes and drive backwards. Good, good. I see you are also a fellow enjoyer of not optimal gameplay. Was this DOS NASCAR game? No, I think it was on the PlayStation, if I recall correctly. Again, it was super old. Let's see. And also, we don't need to play a racing game to crash out. That's what we stream for it. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, I need a snare drum. I really need the snare drum. Okay, so power handled. Okay, that should be good for now. Let's go ahead and check to make sure that our individual subcomponents are working. I've yet to hear the Ori crash out, maybe one day. Trust me when I say I have crashed out before. I feel like I crashed out with the hippos, which was for people who may or may not know, that was a project where we were trying to make chat-controlled hungry hippos, and it went very, 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 very wrong in every single way. Hippo reminder time. Thank you, Alex. And also, welcome in, Alex. I'm not sure if you've been lurking, but welcome in. Welcome in. 3 volts. Definitely a crash out. Yeah, I crashed out when you got PS2 games. Yeah, I did crash out, i.e. cry. So I guess that's true. Need to mount them like a trophy? No, I don't need to mount them like a trophy. I just keep them on my desk as a stark reminder of what happens if you fail a project. Maybe your next one involves burning the components in the effigy? Perhaps, perhaps. Okay, that's fine. We need to get ground connected, which is the gray one. Gray one. Let's zoom out on this guy. Ground is on gray. 3 volts is there. And then we need to get the connectors. So this is for the ADC. So the ADC goes here. ADC is in the top left, so we'll go ahead and get that guy connected. And then we will move forward with the next part. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh, Raggy. Oh, no. That's because you actually still have to be a female to female cable. We need a female to female cable. Oh, gosh. I was actually out of those, if I recall correctly. Oh, thank you for the posture check and the hydration. I will quickly stretch out just a little bit. Was that a spark? I don't think it was a spark. Did I miss something? Okay, water, we're good. Okay, onwards, upwards. Onwards and upwards. Okie dokie. Okay, so we have our wire, and then the other thing we need is U, which is on D2. Okay, so in theory, this guy should work. It's entirely self-contained at the moment. We'll get a battery connector to it eventually, but for the moment, let's just get this guy tested. We just need to make sure it is A-okay. Maybe I was playing Elden Ring. I don't like the fact that this guy's glowing red. Or not glowing red. Actually, a little bit concerned about that. Hopefully we're not shorting something. Oh, it's because it's an older program. Okay. Never mind. I know what the issue is. Give me a moment. Okay. So it was previous old code. We need to upload our newest version onto it and see what happens. Wires crave the volt. And I do want the tone going as well, actually. So give me a moment. Why are you starving them? Oh, hello, Wacky Brain. Welcome in. Also, I meant to ask my Wacky Brain. You stream. You have a wacky little brain. What type of stuff do you do typically? If you don't mind me asking. But yeah, welcome in. Hopefully you're doing well. Let's get this guy connected. I'm really hoping this works. If this doesn't work, I'm going to be kind of sad, but that's okay. That's why we're doing pref board stuff, so when we get into hardest stuff, it should work. Right, so you guys can probably hear the audio cue. I'll mute this real quick. Maybe. Yeah, you guys are able to hear. Let's just do a quick serial monitor. So if you'll see our serial monitor, we are getting things out. If we put it next to the mic, you'll see that it is peaking up and down, which is what is expected. Oh, I'm sorry, guys, if that was super loud. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Apologies. I didn't think it would be that loud. Apologies if that was loud on your end. Block games, puzzle games, a bit of art, and a bit of random maker stuff. Louder, I love the sound. Absolute Chad, rip headphone users. Is it actually that bad? I'm sorry, I thought the audio wouldn't be that bad on it. But then again, I have very, 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 very bad hearing. Actually, that's one of the advantages of streaming. To be honest, I barely noticed. Okay. It's not loud, just high-pitched. Oh, yes. So it is at 1,000 hertz. So that's not unexpected. Let's go ahead and get the next one wired up, though. So we're just going to take this guy, move it over. I can't tell if Oreo's sorry or not. I am. Again, if I say I'm sorry, I'm generally sorry. I tend to over-apologize, but that's just, I don't know, with how I was raised. Why bad hearing? Just stuff. Just some stuff, you know. Unfortunately, you know, I didn't roll good on the RNG, as one tends to do. And, hold on. Yeah. Anywho, let's get this guy attached. Okay, so we're going to need to establish a ground plane over on this side and a power plane on this side. So let's get that in place. It was a lot of time around cars, machines, boats. Yeah, mine was a lot of time around machines, personally. Let's get this in place. And also not great genetically. Again, when it comes to genetics, I have pretty bad genetics, guys. I mean, I'm not sure if that's obvious because I'm a VTuber, but like, you know. You know. We like to have a little bit of bad genetics here. What kind of machines? I am not super comfortable talking about it. Let's see, we have our out, we have our ground, and our VCC. Okay, I need to swap you two with male to females. Let's get this guy connected. Alrighty. Good time zone, I'm off to sleep. Okay, have a very good night, Hakun. Nice to see you. Nice to see you around. I hope you have a good sleep. Or don't, I don't know, whichever way. If you're trying to have a bad sleep, I hope. Actually, I don't even know what to say in that case. Why sleep with a fan on drowns out the noise? Yeah, luckily I don't have like tinnitus or anything, but my hearing's just not great. It may also be because I'm easily distracted, like in real life and I guess in stream. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, but I tend to get derailed very quickly. And, yar. I tend to squirrel, like, if I see something. Tinnitus isn't too bad except for the tinnitus, yeah. But yeah, I mostly play block games. A bit of art, bit of tinkering, and I made it dirty. I made a mic from a Oh, Wacky, you would get along with, Alex. You and Alex have both made mics on stream. Alex, if you hear that, you have a fellow compatriot. Ground. Let's get this guy grounded. Wonderful, I just troubleshot it today. Yeah. Sorry, I can't hear you over my military grade tinnitus. Yeah, military grade tinnitus. You know, when you live in the ocean, things get loud. Okay. Actually, things aren't loud in the ocean. Still not perfect, but a little better than before. Well, again, continual improvement's important. Always strive for continual improvement, guys. At least that's what I try to do with all things in life. I'm usually asking myself what I can do to improve one way or the other. And trying to, like... Oh, camera battery died. Let me replace my camera battery. Okay. Huh? Alright, let us continue. Onwards and upwards. We were talking about something. We were talking about something, that's for sure. They never issue you ears. Oh, the microphone stuff. Oh, and continual improvement. Yes. So again, one of the things I really strive for is continual improvement at everything. Like, if I'm doing something, I want to be improving at it. And I feel like that's one of my, like, major driving points. And of course it's true of, like, work, streaming, school, anything, really. Competitive eating. I'm joking on the competitive eating part. Though I may have eaten, again, too much. But, you know. I'll have you know. I'll have you know I'm perfectly healthy. Anyways, we need to get the next bit. So, ground power. Alright, let's get power next. I'm perfectly healthy in this Racing Canes box. Okay, hold on. Topocato, we're gonna have maybe a disagreement here. With your box combo, with your Caniacs box combo, if you get the Caniacs box combo, do you get double toast or double slaw or split? And for those of you who don't know, it's essentially a chicken finger brand, I think. I'm not 100% sure where they all are, but double toast. Yeah, dude, double toast is goated. Double toast is goated. Goated. And then I get an extra sauce because their sauce is delicious. I haven't had Raisin Cane's in so long because it's not, like, close to me, but yar. Double sauce. Yes. Double sauce, double toast, bro. Aw, Tovo Cat. Dude! Okay, good. Very good. Very good to hear, Topocato, that we're on the same... Actually, it seems like everyone here is on the same wavelength. Congratulations, guys. Yeah, their slaw is disgusting. We go for the toast. We go for the toast here. We are toast enjoyers. They sell the sauce and drink containers. Okay, not that much. But then again, I haven't had it in a few years. So. Yeah, the kit was... my current project is a mini Christmas tree that chat can control the LEDs with lots of helps from friends. Oh, very nice. So are you using a Mux for that, or what microcontroller are you using? I had it for lunch today. Oh, really? Nice. And also, just because you can make it at home does not mean it doesn't taste better at the restaurant. Okay, so I need 2 more male to females, 1 for ground, 1 for power. Okay. 1 for ground, 1 for power. Gray for ground, orange for power should be fine. Let's get this guy soldered. Just an Arduino Nano ESP32, which I had around. Oh, very nice. Okay, so how many LEDs are you trying to control? Are you trying to control light strips, or are you trying to control singular LEDs? And then the secondary follow-up question would be is if you're using MUX traffic stuff, or if you are using just a bunch of GPIO pins. Okie dokie. Oh, let's get this guy attached. No issues. But if you get Popeye's chicken with Raising Cane sauce... Guys, I have a confession. I need to make a confession to you guys. Hold on. It's an important confession, and I need to make the confession. So give me a second. It's important, and we need to talk about it. Okay, my solder looks okay. Hold on. Guys, it's important. It's important. Okay. Plop, 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 plop. Okay. So guys, confession time. Have you guys ever gone to 3 different drive-thru restaurants for a single meal? Because, you know, I may have. No. Okay, so I'm not like... I'm not fat. I swear. Yes, thank you, Dropped Frame. Thank you, Dropped Frame. Okay, so, like, I would sometimes go get, like, drinks. I would go get, like, a drink from one place, I'd get fries from another place, and an entree from the next. And when you said the Popeyes sauce with the cane stuff, that reminded me of it. And, you feel really, really interesting. So it feels very, very interesting to, like, pull up to a place while you're already eating other fast food. Thank you for the chirp, TopoCat. It feels very, very interesting whenever you roll up and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna order this, and then they, like, look inside your car. Like, you know, they do that little look and they're like, oh, you're degenerate. And he kind of just like, oh yes, I'm sorry that I have 2 different restaurant bags and I'm already getting more food from you, yes. Anyways, I'm sorry, that was the confession. I sometimes, actually quite often, I'll go to multiple restaurants to, like, piece together the meal that I like. Because, I don't know, like, McDonald's fries is super good and so is their Coke, but sometimes I don't want their entrees or other things along those lines, right? Both my siblings have allergies and they cannot eat at the same place. Yeah, see? Well, I mean, I have allergies, but that's not the reason why. I'm just a picky eater. Right. McDonald's Coke is great. Dude, it really is. There are a few things better in the world. And then there's Powerade. Yes, you did not have a medical condition that needs a specific soda. Listen, okay? Listen, Topocato. I have gone to McDonald's probably more than 99% of people in the world. Maybe that would be an... I'm not sure if that's like an ambitiously low number or ambitiously high. It may be higher. I may be in like the top 0.5%. But, glass bottled Coke is better than plastic bottled Coke. Yeah, that's generally true. Though can be pretty good too. Then, of course, there is sugarcane Coke, which is also good. But, as we were saying, I have been to probably McDonald's
In the thousands of times. So, you know, as one does. Too many times in one's life. Thousands of times. Probably. Actually, no, most certainly. Yeah, no, I probably went over 1,000 times in college. Because I ate... Dude, I ate at McDonald's every day for college in, for, like, 3.5 years straight. Which is also not a proud moment, but something that did happen. One second. Struggling with the soldering. Okay, there we go. That'll be fine. I'm a little worried about this joint. It's not great. Every day for years. Yeah, every day for years. So anyways, I got to the point, again, where I can taste the day they changed their oil. I can tell how old their oil is. I can tell how good they are at cleaning, like, certain things, like how certain things taste. Like, I have been there way too much. And McDonald's Coke, for those of you who do not know, they super cool it. Or they don't technically super cool it, but they keep it chilled. Proper locations will keep it chilled. So it's specially, like, cooled. You should apply as a food inspector. I guess. I feel like that would be a slight downgrade from what I do currently, but, maybe. But yes, I used to order the same thing, or not same thing, or almost the same thing every day for years in college, and then I still do that occasionally. By occasionally, I still do that every day. But we don't talk about that. You know, weekends we get different food, so there's that. Sorry, have a bit of a stuffy nose. Okay, let us go ahead and get it. Onwards and upwards to the next thing. To get you applied. That is the worst thing you can do. Then you know how your food is made. I like my ignorant bliss. Oh, yeah, don't ever... If you want to eat at a restaurant, never work at the place. Unfortunately, you will see horrors beyond man-made comprehension. As someone who's worked at restaurants, don't do that. If you like eating at the restaurant. Because everywhere is super dirty. Everywhere is super dirty and way worse than your apartment or house. Or dorm. Or garbage can. That means that if the place is good, then you will eat. Yeah, that's true. I mean, again, I did work at a restaurant for several years in high school, through college, or through part of college, and, bro, I was kind of struggle bussing, so I'd just, like, buy a kid's meal, and they gave you, like, 50% off. And you guys ever struggle to the point where you're, like, calculating calories to cost ratios? I'm not sure if you guys have ever reached that level of... I don't want to say desperation, but... that level of... Hold on. There we go. Can't say I have. Okay, so essentially, no, I would buy a kid's pizza. I would buy a kid's pizza with French fries for like $5, and it was like $2 rounded down or whatever. And I would get like a huge ramekin of gravy. I'd just get like a huge ramekin or like container of gravy as well on the side. And I would just like dip all of the food in gravy so I would get enough calories. I distinctly remember doing this so much. It was probably not good for you, but that's okay. Anyways, don't dip pizza in gravy. It actually is pretty good, but don't do that. I just do cost to weight ratio. That's fair. Dude, I feel like you kind of get exposed while VTubing. I feel slightly exposed right now. Not like in a terrible way. So you made poutine with extra... I didn't even realize that, Shackman. Also, you gotta be careful with poutine. You might summon Wolf with Sword. It's not hard to bake bread. I don't bake much. Or cook much. Or do anything much. Poutine making stream when? Maybe sometime. Okay, let's get our next parts working. Okie dokie. Just need to get everything hooked up. Hopefully we don't have any shorts on it. Oh, you gotta be careful with that Topocato. That might inspire some fighting words with people. Let's get this guy hooked up. And for the 3 volts. And our ground. Where the ground is, ground. Hey, don't joke about B's and G's here. I mean, biscuits and gravy is good. Don't get me wrong, don't get me twisted. Biscuits and gravy is good, but I'm not sure how those compare. Actually, I've never had a proper poutine, so I can't really say or comment on it. I'm allowed to have opinions, especially when I'm right. The best ones are made with lard. Okay. Guys, I have a question. What's the most number of slices of bacon that you guys have eaten in a single sitting? Anyone? Tray? A tray of bacon? 38. Past the point. 15 pounds? Okay. Past the point where you couldn't even count the slices. Okay, never mind. You guys are fellow bacon enjoyers. Okay. 1. Okay. Okay, Meridian. This is the ground. Wait, but both these shouldn't be ground. Oh, we messed up the soldering a bit. Give me a sec. Need to get a speaker. Where's our other speaker? I worked at a Waffle House when they were throwing that slab away. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair. One of the places I used to work subsidized food, and I would just buy, like, an entire to-go container. Like, I'm talking like a normal, like, full meal-sized to-go container of bacon for, like, $2. It was great. And I would just, like, eat massive amounts of bacon. Why is everything gluttony related? Alright, let's get this guy touched. Poop. Call it keto. Yeah, I kind of miss working for places that had subsidized food. No carbs. It was just, yeah, I would just get bunches of eggs and bacon. Nothing but eggs and bacon, and sometimes just bacon. That was also the most miserable, though, that I was at a job. I would never work there again. That was a very toxic workplace. Not because, like, well, actually, the people were slightly toxic, but not to the point where, like, I'd say it was bad. But, like, the work itself was toxic because we had to travel a lot. So I would regularly travel for work with that job, and I'd regularly be out for, like, multiple weeks at a time. And I don't know about you guys, but it's kind of sad whenever the place that you're paying for and living, you spend less time at, and you spend more time at a hotel. Okay, yes, to be fair, like, I had per diem, so I'd get, like, I would get steak and Starbucks every day, which is fine, right? You know, I called it the steak and Starbucks meal, but, like, it's just not fun not being able to like go home at the end of the day and just having to stay in a hotel. And then worse on top of that, it was also pretty stressful programming work. Like we would regularly stay up in the hotel the night before working on stuff that we were supposed to be testing the next day. And to the point where we were like, we were making live code changes on things that if we messed up the tests would cost conservatively in the million, or not conservatively in the millions, conservatively in the hundreds of thousands. And we'd just be making like code changes like less than 15 minutes out and just like, man, I sure hope this code change works, because if not, I've just wasted tons of money. Smile. Yeah, not the greatest of times. It was very stressful. Though I did fine with it. It was just very, 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 very stressful. Okay, per diem, do you mean beer and steak money? I actually don't drink. But yes, steak and Starbucks. Copious amounts of caffeine. Okay, let's get the next part. If it's a spare wire, we need to get you attached, and then we'll be good to go. What my boss called it? Oh, yeah, you actually... With the place that I was at, you actually couldn't per diem beer. Or you couldn't per diem alcohol. If I recall correctly. Dude, also, at the end of every day... Okay, this is kind of messed up. At the end of every day, it was use it or lose it for per diem at the company that I worked at. So, like, obviously, you want to get value because, of course you do. Because if they're going to send you on travel, you might as well. You better be getting, like, as much value as possible. And I think that's a fair statement to say. So I would purposely, like... wait till the very end of the day, and I would go to the local... I didn't eat crayons. I bought candy. I bought, like, regularly, so, like, per diem was, like, always, like, 60, 70, 80, I don't know. Something number of dollars a day. And I would always just, like, I'd only spend, like, 30 or 40, and then I'd go buy $20 or $30 worth of candy every day on every trip. And by the time I would get home... Like, I'd also purposely, like, travel on... So, if you traveled, you still got per diem. So, like, if you flew home on, like, a Saturday morning, you still got per diem for Saturday. So, I would fly home on Saturday, for instance, and then in the airport... I would go to the candy store and buy like $60, $70 worth of candy. And it was wonderful. After I left that job, I had candy for well over a year. Because of how much I traveled. I just like had massive drawers full of candy. Like, I didn't eat all of it, mind you, but good times. I'm healthy. McDonald's. I'm healthy. Maybe not. Listen, we try to be healthy here. Just a little bit of health, you know, just as a little treat. Just a little bit. Okay, let's see how we are doing. Should be wired. Double check our grounds, and then we'll be good to go. Ground, and double check our 3 volts. Okay, let's go ahead and give this guy a try. So, let me just plug it in, and hopefully it doesn't blow up. If not, we'll diagnose what's going wrong. But yeah, I loved buying candy. I love candy. Candy is like one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things in this world is candy. Also, not hearing any sound is disconcerting. Let's go ahead and reprogram it and figure it out. I worked for a college in their audio department. I got so much IT stuff that I got rolls of 5. Very nice. I got free computers back when I did IT stuff as well, but they're mostly like old assets that frankly really weren't worth running. But hey, let's go ahead and reprogram this guy and see what we get. Okay, so you guys can probably hear the tone. Let's go over to the serial monitor. And then if we put it close, you can see that it is peaking and going to the absolute lowest, so I believe that's good. Yeah. Okay, good. So it looks good on our end, so what we're going to do is disconnect that. And we can move on to the next phase. You might ask, what is the next phase? There are two, like, essentially problems that we have to deal with. So let me bring you guys potentially up to speed on it. So one thing is you essentially have to know when you're communicating. So usually this is accomplished by a clock line. However, what we are going to do is we are going to make our own clock line out of power relays, I think, is what we are going to go for. So we shall see how that works. So essentially we're going to have a master device, slave device. It doesn't matter which one's which, but they will be able to communicate back and forth, but one will dictate whenever communication is started, and then we'll set the period as well. So to do that, I'm gonna need a power relay. So, power relay time. Wop, wop, wop. Also, guys, think... Oh. Okay. Okie dokie. Another power relay open. Alright. So we are going to use this as a trigger, essentially, to say, hey, we're starting up communication. I want this on a power relay due to the fact of the matter that, whatchamacallit? I'm trying to think of it, to put it in words. It's easier to see with a visual indication than just passing it directly over. Also, you know, we gotta make things complex, right? That's what engineering is all about. So, I'm gonna need the screwdriver. This guy unzipped. And then we are going to need a GPIO. We're gonna set one as an input, one as an output. Alternatively, we could make multiple, but that would run into something called, like, the two generals problem. So we're just going to completely ignore it and hope for the best. Let us get this in place. Okay. So if you take a quick look at this board, we will be putting the ground in the middle here. We will be putting the positive, or the power, on this part. And then we will be putting the input, or GPIO, on this part. And then we will connect to our other board with this guy here to indicate whenever we want to turn it on. So we are going to need male to female here. We are going to need... Still funny when you walk away and your avatar would show like an idle shutdown animatronic. Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. We are looking good. Okay, so I just need to get this guy hooked up. Let's go ahead and make some progress on it. We're going to need male to male for these two because we are connecting to our power. So these two are going to be male to male, and then our communication is going to be male to female, and then our out is going to be male to female as well. Okie dokie. I do want these wires to be relatively long. We'll do like 10 inches. The reason why we are making these wires long is because they're gonna have to be like slightly apart and connecting the two boards. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we're also gonna need a ground, and then we're gonna have to do some soldering. Right here. I think this solution will also work. There's a possibility the solution doesn't work because we'll still run into delay, but I think if we set the communication or comm rate slow enough, we won't have any issues. But time shall tell. Time shall tell for that. Strip this guy out. Looking good. And go ahead and strip the next one out. Oh, there we go. Excellent. And let's go ahead and solder it first. And we will disconnect it from the board for a second just in case we have bad heat transfer issues. I don't think we will, but in case we do. Better safe than sorry. Okie dokie. Apologies. Struggling a bit to get it in place. We're starting to reach the wire ball phase of this project. We'll see if we can get it soldered in just a jiffy. I must unfortunately report that the gavel goat isn't burned down. I'm sorry, what's a gavel goat? I'm not overly familiar with what that is. Why are we struggling? Oh, okay. That's interesting. Okay, I'm just gonna have to solder it at an awkward angle, so you guys are unfortunately not gonna get the best view as I solder it. Apologies, but I need to make sure it is in place. Hasn't burned down since 2021. Last I checked, the 2020s haven't been that good to us. But I suppose another burning down could be okay as a little treat. Okay, no, this is not gonna work. Give me a second. Apologies. Now the goat is burning for next year. So what was the good thing that happened in 2022 then? if you don't mind me asking, what was the good thing that happened in 2022? Okay, get this guy nice and cleanly attached. COVID went away mostly? I guess that's kind of true, yeah. Apologies, I'm doing a really bad job soldering right now. Though, to be fair, I'm at a very awkward angle. There we go. There we go. Come on, just get nice and connected. Okay. Well, it should be fine. It's a little wet, but I think it'll be fine. Let's go ahead and get the other one attached. And then we should be in a good spot. And 3.3 volts should be fine. We are not running overly high on power, so I'm not worried about sharing a lane. Let's get that. See if we can get this one attached a bit cleaner. Oh, maybe move it over. Oh. Okie dokie. Oh. Why am I struggling so much? You can get attached. I believe in you. Compate wire. Okay. It's flowing pretty cleanly. It's looking good. Alright. Then we just need to get them plugged into the relay. And then I think we'll be good. Again, I want to get pretty much all the physical parts out of the way, if at all possible. And we can deal with the other parts next stream. We can deal with the software stuff next stream. And by the way, the software on this is going to be just a tad bit brutal. It will probably be the second or third hardest thing we've programmed on the channel. Conservatively. Okie dokie, let's get the next part. Next part that we are going to get is our input signal, which is just going to be a direct line. That will just be male to female, and then we'll be good to go. And then, yeah, male to female, male to female. Okay. Wire and one more wire, and then we are done. Okay, so I think that should leave us in a pretty good striking position for next stream. We are at time, so what I am going to do is wrap up stream. Thank you guys so much for being here today. It is very much appreciated as always. I will be in the Discord shortly after stream to talk for a while. If you want to join, feel free to. If not, don't worry about it. I will just do the Discord thingy. So who are we raiding into today? Is Reddy still streaming? Because if they are, that's who we're raiding into. If not, Reddy is online. Okay, we'll raid into Reddy then. Thank you guys so much for being here. It was very much appreciated. I hope you guys have a very good evening, afternoon, and night. And in case I don't see you on the flippity flip, you are. So yeah, see ya.